And welcome to another best of 5 in the round of 64 of Wandering Warriors Cup. In the blue, we have Dark. Dark is playing as the Malians. And in the red, for the first time, I think this tourney, at least with my casting, we see Celts for God of the Godless. And there's a certain phrase that comes to mind immediately as I see Celts here for him. Now, Malians has been picked very frequently, and I'll continue to explain why. Malians, because their wood buildings are discounted, can't afford a TC, a house, a dock, and a fishing ship. And the only other civ that can do that is Persians. I think Persians might not actually be able to afford all of that. I think they need to chop a little bit of wood before they make their fishing ship. But anyways, yeah, this is incredible. And oh, yes, Fixie, thank you. I'm going to put the player seeds up here as well, just so you guys know what their seeds were going into this. Shoot. Come on, help me type here, game. You got this. You got this. 40, was it 42? 45? Something along those lines. Oh, God. God of the God. Man, you try and do a good thing here. Hold on, I got this. Fixed. Yes. Looks kind of horrible, but he's got a big name. But yeah, Malians are an established civilization for Nomad. Malians are a civilization. Oh, God. Oh, my God. There we go. We fixed it. They're a civilization that we know is strong. Celts, on the other hand, I just haven't seen picked. And I think with Celts, it all comes down to some type of all-in, right? Some type of aggression. Maybe some spearmen, maybe some siege, maybe trying to end this game early. Now, this is not to say that if this game is even in the middle of the game, in mid-castle age, the Celts aren't good here. I think Celts are actually exceptionally good here if they could go for Pike and Champion. Like, that could be tough for Malians to stop. But as we see the dock for God of the Godless, just things to think about. Dark will have the better start. In fact, I love his TC. The only thing that's questionable is gold, but I think this is a great TC spot. Having berries next to your TC and wood next to your TC is amazing for your start. And plus, he's got his fish far, far away. Now, it's quite common on this version of Nomad to have some land locking. It's also common to have some crossing from time to time, but no crossing here. If Dark needed to make a journey to find the opponent's fish, he would travel a very long way to find that. In fact, it's like the furthest possible away from where he's at. And it would be the same for God of the Godless, right? So what players will try and do is they'll try and scout the docks with their sheep, or in this case, their cows. And I think it would be so crucial if Dark were to find the dock and the TC with this cow. Like, this cow is currently the MVP for Dark. The most valuable player. He needs the MVC, the most valuable cow. He needs this cow to find something, and then he can strategize. Like, in an ideal world, he would actually find the dock and then the TC, but he doesn't seem to be traveling that way. So maybe I'm getting too excited about cows. You can see the scouting cow over here. Yeah, occasionally instead of sheep, you'll get cows, and that's what we're seeing. And cows actually have more vision than sheep. They also have more food, so I don't know. Not a bad start here for God of the Godless. Overall, it's 12-12 with Eco. He's just brought in his boar. He also has gold right underneath his TC, which seems perfect with the Celts. All right. This is like the third Nomad map where I'd 100% assume that was the lake, like the last game T90 uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, you got to scout it, right? You definitely have to scout it. And your cows are going to find more cows, and so you should eventually try and get more of them with a villager, just so you can scout things. Like the best Nomad players, and I don't think we've really seen the best Nomad players yet. We haven't been casting the top of the very top. But the best names, like Yo, for example, Tato, Viper, they're going to be scouting so well. And they're just going to know. They're just going to find out where the opponent is. By the way, round of 32, there's going to be some incredible sets. There's 16 best of 5s for a round of 32. And I'm a little on the fence right now on how we're going to cover that. Because 16 best of 5s is a lot, but I'm super tempted to try and cover them all. I think I will be able to do maybe like 8 to 10. We'll see. Like, Dave obviously might cover some, so maybe we could split it up and do 8 and 8. That would make more sense. But I was thinking as well, like, there's certain sets I don't want to miss. Like, here, and full respect to everyone involved, of course, but, like, I'm okay with not casting every set of the round of 128 and the round of 64. and splitting it up makes sense. But for the sake of coverage, I don't want to only cast 8 and have someone else cast 8, to be completely honest with you. I want to see them. Like, and I love you guys, but like, it's not even about you guys. It's about me. I'm not just going to have a good best of 5 set just not be casted by me. It's not going to happen. I need to see it. So we're going to figure that out, and I'll let you guys know. At the very least, every set from the next round will be casted by people in the community, but I would really like to cast everyone myself. We'll find out soon. God of the Godless on the way to Feudal Age already. Let's look back at his scouting. This is actually a really good build order for him. And he's going to go over here to the deer. No villagers to gold yet. He doesn't have a lot on wood yet, which he would do if he was going for a second dock. If I had to guess, this is an attempted fast castle build. Whereas over here, Dark's got so many fishing ships. And it would not at all surprise me to see him build another dock. Excuse me, I want to show his fog. And man, his scouting is insane. I think he did lose his cow here. I'm curious on if he thinks there's a TC here or a dock. There's actually both. I would need a second dock for his own fish efficiency, truthfully. But wait a second. Was there a shorefish over here? What's going on? Okay, no, that was the shorefish villager on this dock. And I think she senses there might be a dock here. Because look at Dark scouting, guys. Dark has scouted 80% of the shorelines on the map. So I think he's determined that the enemy must be over here. And so he wants to dock that. Over here, we have a market opening for God of the Godless, who's definitely going for fast castle. So market opening for him. I expect him to sell his stone. I think he's going to go all in Castle Age. Still no dock for Dark. Dark just now in Feudal, though. Taking out these fishing ships would be so helpful. Because once the cows are gone, once the deer are gone, there's going to be 0 food income for God of the Godless. Actually, that's not true. He's still got berries, I guess. God of the Godless now has this blacksmith, and he's now up. Wow. So he's going YOLO here, and he lost a cow over here, so he knows the opponent's TC is there. I guess what really sucks, if you're trying to siege push your opponent's town center, you never want to be firing uphill. That's really unfortunate, to be honest. Here comes the fire from Dark. Yeah, you could scout with a fishing ship. Scouting with a fishing ship isn't bad, but if you can have your fishing ships working, then it's even better to just scout with cows, right? Man, if I was Dark, I would have made a fire from this. He never did, because he realizes it's going to take forever to get some use out of it. This is so important. I love that play. Forward barracks right now from God of the Godless. This is why we watch him. And someone said, what does YOLO mean? It's kind of a weird thing to say with casting, to be honest. YOLO was a thing that came out like, I don't know, 10 years ago. YOLO, you only live once. Yeah, people thought it was cool. YOLO, I'm going to eat this burrito instead of saving half of it for later because YOLO. Basically, it's a phrase that a lot of people use to justify bad decisions in life. I'm going to do something that's really bad for me because you only live once, right? And so look at this. Oh, my God. Dark's walling here, but Dark doesn't notice that there's a stable right next to his face. So, yeah, when I say YOLO with casting, it's probably not the best phrase to use. But I think if you know YOLO, you understand that it's like all in, crazy aggression. And we have a siege workshop and a knight here already. Now, Dark has somehow noticed this, but he hasn't noticed it, right? Like, he scouted it, but he doesn't know yet. Now, his economy is going to be insane. He's clearing out the fishing ships. He's got all of his own fishing ships working. This is all very good. But now a knight is on his gold, and this is why I wanted to cast God of the Godless. This is what God of the Godless brings to the table. And suddenly Dark is super stressed out, and he's back on this gold, which is important. He needs gold. We have a Scorpion now. Scorpion's here to harass. And okay, so it's 3-1 Eco KD. Only one villager went down there for Dark. And we're seeing an opening of Scorpions and Knights, which is really, really weird. I think what you would need is some monks and or spearmen, because if Dark can get a stable up. Dark could make camels and knights against all this. But this is going to be another villager that goes down. And Dark is under a lot of pressure right now. Meanwhile, not a single eco upgrade for God of the Godless. He's not even producing vills. He's just going all in. And it's working so far. What is Dark going to do against this? He doesn't have a barracks yet, guys. He doesn't have a barracks yet. This is a big problem. Here he comes with villagers against the ram, but now a knight arrives, so that's not going to work. The villagers are repairing the ram. The scorpion here is hitting vills. The scorpion here is hitting vills. God of the Godless I've uploaded to YouTube before, but never did I expect he'd be taking games off of a 20th seed in a freaking tourney. And holy crap, this is amazing. This is amazing. Dark has so much he has to do right now. And full-on idle TC for God of the Godless. He's not creating any villagers. Oh my goodness. And now we have another TC here for Dark, which is probably a really good move. But he could lose villagers to that, and one villager goes down. We'll have another villager go down. Here, this scorpion's getting pulled away. That'll go down to the town center. This scorpion could maybe go down, but villagers could go down. And villagers are going down, and knights are coming in. What is this game? God of the Godless takes the population lead. Holy crap, man. And now all these villagers are exposed as well. And these villagers are exposed. This is GG. This is game over, man. This has to be game over. At this point, Dark is about to have more fishing ships than villagers. But he did just convert a knight, which is actually a huge deal. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. That knight can take out the scorpions. More monks could come out to get more conversions. Monks can get some awesome value here. Holy man. 30 pop versus 26. I might be exaggerating, but this might be the best game one we've seen so far in the tourney because this is insane. And there's still possibilities for comebacks here for Dark because he can take golds. That said, villagers and scorpions are a bit of a problem. Wait, he might not be able to take gold. No, that villager won't be enough, actually. That villager will not be enough. Good job here. Villager goes down. Also, scorpion will go down. But yeah, I think... Oh, wait a second. Run away, God of the Godless. Ooh, wait a second. Another monastery goes up. Drops off the relic and could get another conversion. This is why I mentioned that you needed to have some monks if you're God of the Godless. Because if they convert your stuff, you need to be able to convert it back. But oh my god, he's going to go in for the TC. He's crazy. This is where the game gets decided. This is where the game gets decided, one way or another. He's going to use the scorpions against the monks. That's what he's going to do. He's going to use the scorpions against the monks. The monk needs to get into the TC. It does. The knight arrives. Now the monks are going to hop back out. Guarantee it. Wait for it. Monk goes down. I thought there was one more in here, but I lost it. There's the next one. Scorpions going after the monk. The knight gets pulled away. The monk goes down. There's another one. Scorpions will go after that monk as well. It gets into the TC, but the TC's about to go down. That monk goes down. The villager gets out repairing the ram. And now the monk will go down. Oh my god, he's so good at this. Wong created the meta. God of the Godless is over here perfecting the meta. Oh my goodness, that was so sick. And guys, Dark is an 18-year-old prodigy. Like, he's an 18-year-old beast from Russia who's been getting further and further in the tourneys. He played it so well at the start. But the first time we've seen Celts played on Nomad, and it is all in play with 7 minutes of TC idle time, very little food income, is actually working. So I think in theory, what you should do right now if you're God of the Godless is you should start to add some farms. Like, you should start to add a little bit more eco. That's how I feel, but I always feel, you know, transitioning and playing standard. So I don't play like these guys do. So let's see. I mean, there's still been so much food income. In fact, I'd like to see... Yeah, look at the wood and food income. There's such a big food difference. And if he can now use his gold to get monks and maybe afford redemption, Dark could convert the knights, could convert the siege, and all this could go down. Like, this still seems super risky. Also, I'd love to see a demo. Malians do get redemption, and with redemption, you can convert siege. Obviously, you don't need any upgrades for the monks to convert knights. Sanctity is normally a really important monk upgrade, too. We haven't seen that yet, probably because he's saving up for redemption. And oh god, he could lose a villager. Oh, the monks were healing the boar villager as she was bringing in the food. That's a new one. Okay, redemption's now on the way. Boar is now underneath the TC. But honestly, he needs the gold. The gold's the most important thing here. And the other thing is this. If you use redemption monks to take out scorpions, the knights are still there. Which I think is a big issue. So, what you really need to convert is the knights. Converting the siege doesn't do too much. It's converting the knights that you need. This TC could go down. Dark has no gold income. He has no wood income. He's about to learn very quickly he has no wood income and panic. This is a problem. He's got 4 monks. He's selling food. Did maybe try and buy wood, but he's realizing, oh crap, I cannot repair this TC. It is the great Huang who once said it. Celt eat TC. Let's see if it actually happens. Okay, there goes the monk to convert the siege. Now he should know. Now he should know redemption is in. But again, I don't think Dark truly wants to convert the scorpions because converting the scorpions doesn't change much for him here. He needs to convert the knights. The knights are the key here. He will get 1. He should. If life is fair, he gets 1. He does. But he will lose 1 monk in the process. But he will... Look! He's taking out the scorpions. Takes out another knight. The other knights are weak for God of the Godless. Maybe he can get gold again. And maybe with gold... he could do something. And another scorpion goes down. By the way, God of the Godless is booming. He's full eco now. He got his first eco upgrade. What a beast. What a beast. 2 farms. He's booming. Okay. Amazing eco from God of the Godless. That's what we call sarcasm, by the way. His eco is really not that great. I think, in theory, what you should do now, or not do, but what would be good, is if he had fire ships. If he had fire ships to take out the fish, then it's minus 10 eco for Dark, and then Dark is, like, completely out of food eco. But Dark still has food eco, and the monks were super late, and, oh, Dark didn't see that. Oh, he saw the ram instead. We've got some scouts for God of the Godless, but again, he doesn't have a lot of food eco, so... That would, of course, be good against a few monks, though. Not a spot that I would run into if I were Dark. And I think Dark has got to be real scared of what's to come now. Scouts would be an excellent counter. As this is not stone for a second TC. I mean, it might be, truthfully. He might still go for a second TC. But it almost looks like stone for a castle drop. Well... Amazing game, and it could still swing either way. That might not be a conversion. It's not a conversion. Well done there from Dark. This one also might not be a conversion. It doesn't feel... Oh, it is one. Okay, I knew that. But yeah, he needs to run away with that. And God of the Godless is distracted. Okay. Oh, the siege could all get converted. This would be the time for the scouts to come out. But there's not many of them. And he loses the mangonel. He loses the next mangonel. And Dark is back in this game. He's adding the second TC, guys. He's thinking about economy again. But this is not the play. He's going to start losing his houses now. All of his buildings are on the front. They can all be converted with redemption. God of the Godless gave himself an opportunity, but Dark was able to hold on. There was a YouTube comment on one of my most recent uploads. And someone was like, this is what high elo is about. It's about staying alive in situations where no one else would survive. As we see the light cav upgrade on the way and the very stable that might soon be converted. And the scouts go in for some kills, but now they'll run away. I think that's so true. Like, being able to come back from situations where you should die is basically one of the greatest skills you can have. Being able to trudge your way through adversity. As you cancel the light cav upgrade, what? I don't think that's the way to say it, by the way. To be able to trudge your way through adversity. No, that's not it. But I think you guys know what I mean. Monk power here. Look at the eco KD, and yet the eco is still so close. And thankfully, there is a castle there for God of the Godless, so now he can start to focus on his economy a bit more. And we'll see what Dark ends up doing, because I think Dark is going to see this castle and realize, okay, he's booming now. So now we probably need to buy 100 stone. He actually doesn't have a market, which could be a bit of an issue. Yeah, he needs to get the stone, and then he needs the second TC. Ooh. How much time does it take to convert a knight? So there's a minimum time and a maximum time, so it's a bit random. But I tend to have a pretty good feel on it. There can be some that come off really fast, but usually you kind of get a feel for it. I don't have the exact data on it, though. There's the second TC, as expected for Dark, right? So he got the stone, he has the TC. My issue for Dark, funnily enough, is... well, not funnily enough. I was going to say food eco, but no, his food eco is still insane if he continues to redock. So as long as he gets horsepower here and starts to switch into farms, I think he'll be feeling pretty good. And that's going to be an upgrade that God of the Godless needs. I'm kind of okay with him not having the... oh, wait, water upgrades. Wait a moment, water upgrades. But yeah, I was just going to say I'm kind of okay with him not having the wood upgrade because Celts chop wood faster already, so that's fine. But man, I feel like these docks show you that maybe God of the Godless doesn't understand where that fish boom is for Dark. Not that he can't make it there. That would obviously be huge. But it does give Dark some time. If Dark notices this, to get his water upgrades and defend his fish. So it is becoming more and more about villagers right now. Lucius, welcome, welcome. Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. Happy to be here. And, I mean, the games have definitely made it worthwhile for me to show up today. All right, another house will get converted, which is at an awkward time because God of the Godless is housed. That's a lot of monks. That's a lot of knights. This is still a big problem for God of the Godless. He needs to drop another castle to defend from this. And don't give him a forward ville. Delete it, delete it, delete it. Oh, God. Now she could build a siege workshop. Here comes a fire ship. No fire ship from Dark. He's about to lose 10 eco. But he says, Kelt eat my TC. More like, I eat Kelt TC. Let's go. So many resources floating for Dark right now as he's going to drop a castle and a town center right here. This is a risky spot, right? If Woad Raiders were to come out here, they would deny that. But it looks like God of the Godless wants to go Woads, Knights, and Scouts. He wants to run in with a bunch of different units to take out those monks soon. But yeah, this is the key. He has to find the fish, and now Dark realizes. The Dark's going to add a fire galley, and he's going to go after that. And he might not think this is that important right now, because there's no fish over here, but with that much wood, he could add fish traps. I think that is important, but obviously they're very distracted and focused on land right now. Why isn't God of the Godless going for light cap? Well, he doesn't have a stable anymore. He doesn't have a stable. Also, the other thing for God of the Godless that's been a big concern is eco balance. He's got 40 on wood. He needs time to be able to put his wood into farms. He has no fish. Granted, he could add some fishing ships. I feel like adding a few of them would be good. God of the Godless also is inherently a very aggressive all-in style player. So with that, you know, those types of players they win games on this. See this? This is what God of the Godless wins games on. So let's see. Dark might be distracted by this. He sees the Woadies, though. But here come the Knights and here come the Scouts. Will there be enough conversions? Dark has focused on so many units here. And he got like 4 conversions there. But I don't think that ends up being enough. All the monks are going to go down. The siege is going to go down. And this is also another reason why light cab wasn't needed. He had enough in the way of numbers. He clears it up. Now he can breathe a bit again. Again, you still have the fires over here. And this is the target for the fire ships. But I think in the end, we'll actually have to say good defense there from Dark on that. And guys, is anyone surprised that Dark is still alive right now? Anyone? I am. I'm surprised he continued to fight. Obviously, with the fishing ships, he always had a bit of a chance. But what an insane game. And I'm not exaggerating. This is insane. It's also insane to me and very sad to me to see someone farm this much when they don't have horse color. But trust me, as someone who plays in tournaments and plays high-level Age of Empires, when you're stressed and you're trying to do a million different things at once, you are going to forget a few things here or there. Just ask Nikov about that one. Now, we see the second castle now for God of the Godless. He's closing it on stone for his third. It's a good castle spot because I think he's scared of the Gbeto. The Gbeto are fairly good against infantry. Even though they're very low HP, it's kind of the trade-off. Is they're high attack, good against infantry, but low HP. God of the Godless is happy to just sit behind here and think about the later stages of the game. He might go all in Woads, though. He doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades, but the way he's producing Woads makes me think he might actually try and address this. Dark is casually making another castle here. And this is really what it's going to come down to, taking this area of the map. As I look at the scouting here for God of the Godless. Oh, he doesn't see the gold here, guys. He does not see the gold, but he does see the stone. But I guess he's got enough gold for now. Might be a race to imp situation to get Trebs out if you're God of the Godless. I mean, you're pretty well protected right now. Technically, the Gbeto could come over here, but I think once the Gbetos see the castles there, Dark is going to know. Dark is going to say, okay, I need to go imp right now. I need to go imp. He might cancel some Gbeto, but then again, he might need the Gbeto as well. And I don't think the Woadies should do too well here. I don't think they'll be too strong. They should just run right back to the castles. Of course, you have to micro the Gbeto, which is awkward, but they're still very good. And yep, there you have imp. Okay, so that Woad Raider actually raiding, which is hilarious. That girl wouldn't go out with him when he lived here, so he's pissed off. He's like, how dare you not go on a date with me? Rah! You guys might think that's pretty serious stuff, and it is, but that's just how it worked back then. Double dock here for Dark, okay. All right. And he's going to have 3 castles along the middle. Good question, though. The Gbetos are not affected by ballistics. But man, are they a strong unit in these situations. I think what God of the Godless really needs is he needs some blacksmith upgrades. I'm not sure how much armor really helps, though, against the Gbeto. I don't think... Actually, you know what? Getting the attack doesn't really help that much either. 10 base attack is fine against the Gbeto. So I think he's just being patient. And he's waiting to get his mass. And he wanted to protect this area because he didn't know where they would go. But man, dude, Dark is somehow in a game where it started off so horribly. And his unit control is sick. This is such a difficult unit to micro properly. We're about to see some gates and some walling here. He's made it look easy. Palisade gates should go down, though. You should hit the gate here and just run right through. Yep, there you go. But it still does mean they had to stop. And now we're going to have maybe a villager go over here to make something. In the end, the Woads will clear this. And Dark is going to be on the way to Imp as well. Also, fire ship on the way for Dark. This is going to get dealt with. We have a market and 2 stone walls. Just 2 taps. Double tap. Boom. Boom. Got him. Easy. Well done. Well done, God of the Godless. Who now, I think, should open up with Trebs. But this is what's tricky. Like, yes, you want trebuchets, but you also want military to support your Trebs. And you're going to be making military out of those castles. So, I always say don't trickle Treb. I think in this situation, you should go 2 Trebs, and then you should go full Woad Raiders. There's not a lot that Celts could do against Woad Raiders, truthfully. Or, sorry, of course they can't counter Woad Raiders. That's not what I meant to say. Celts make the Woad Raiders. There's not a lot the Celts can do against the Gbeto. If they get continually massed. And, of course, you need your castles for that. I think Dark is going to fall back into some archery ranges and go for chemistry. He's got this university back there. This is, I mean, an amazing game. And if this whole series is like this, this is going to be the series of the tourney so far for me. What a ridiculous game 1. And I can only imagine how stressed and concerned they both are right now. God of the Godless, because he knows if he's going to win this best of 5, he needs this victory. And then Dark, you know, being the favorite, not wanting to go down versus this type of a strategy here in game 1. Oh, no. The Gbeto will take the Treb. They're very good against Siege as well. And the Woadies are going to try and go in. They're not elite yet. And will this be a good decision? He sees another castle, so there's 2 castles here. Granted, there's no upgrades on the castles yet. And the Woad say, Pogo! Just passing. It's Dark's turn to now try and do some damage control as he goes for the gates and walls. And the Woads can't get through. The Gbeto are chasing, and I think Woad Raiders need to get out of here. The gates are going to hold, and the Gbeto are getting cleared up, and Dark is in a position to defend from this. There's no siege hitting his castles. And maybe the lack of eco upgrades are catching up with God of the Godless. What is this performance from Dark? That was so good. There's lack of space here for God of the Godless if he ever gets pushed on the front. All of his ecos here. He cannot give up that area of the map, but it's like he's committed everything towards Woads. And I don't think Woads are really going to do anything for you here. Celts don't have good ranged options. That'd be one of the units you'd want to go for against the Gbeto. You'd want to go for ranged options like skirms or crossbows. So he committed to Woad Raiders, and now he just doesn't know what to do. Elite Gbeto's in. The HP goes from 35 to 45, and then the base attack goes up to 13 instead of 10. It's very rare you see this unit, as we'll see another castle here for Dark. Look at his scouting, guys. He sees the entire map. Every single piece of the map. He will not be surprised by anything. He also will complete chemistry and make bombard cannons out of the siege workshop. Holy crap. The order in which he's doing things is incredible. If those Woads would have gotten in, it would have pulled this Gbeto back here. And yes, they probably would have cleaned the Woads, but it would have given God of the Godless an opportunity on the front. God of the Godless, I think, has no clue what to make right now. He needs more Woad Raider numbers, but he doesn't have Elite Woad Raider, which is decently expensive. And even then, like, even if you get Elite Woad Raider, does that help you against the Gbeto? Now, of course, thinking, oh, shoot, what can I do differently? What can I do differently? And he's going for the eco upgrades. But Dark is... what an incredible comeback. You might not even win this game, but what an incredible comeback, because it's 165 versus 165 pop right now to get into this position. I thought he was straight up dead. Yeah, he did get arson, so he can melt the buildings. He got the attack upgrades first as well, which I think is kind of rare for melee units. Technically, they just do melee damage. And finally, we have Elite Woad. These Gbetos are having a good old time. There's going to be Trebs on the front, 2 Trebs and a bombard cannon, not giving God of the Godless time to react. It is 50 military for Dark. The weakness of this play would be the castles if he would be losing the castles, but he's taking out the castles, and now we're going to see that be a weakness for God of the Godless. And the Gbeto are going to hit. They're going to run. They're going to hit. They're going to run. They're going to hit again. No, they didn't quite hit, but they're going to run. And they're going to continue. And I think the Woad just get wiped up. And then all the castles are going to get wiped up. Like right now, God of the Godless is going to go desperation mode to take out the siege. And look, the Gbeto are there. This is flawed. He's still microing this. This is amazing, dude. He's still microing this army. He doesn't even need to, by the way. He could just sit it there and win. Yeah, there he sits in a choke. But he saves all of his siege. And I think this game is pretty over at this point. Yes, you could try and go Onager if you're Celts. Maybe mixing in some Mangonels will help. Still, Gbetos do have a really good attack against siege, so I think that would all be taken out. Of course, the bombard cannons could take care of that as well. These Gbetos here, micro, and as I said, take out the Mangonel, no problem. And these Gbetos can go anywhere they want right now. There's situations in games where there's momentum, there's eco, and then there are situations where you just find yourself with the better comp. And while the eco is certainly worse for God of the Godless right now, he had a 30, I forget the exact one, but like a 37-3 eco KD at one point in this game, and somehow ended up losing it. What a ridiculous game from Dark. Holy crap. I need to go back to that. Does this update when I go back? Does this update the stats? Okay, it's taking a second. Sorry, it's ruining the hype. Yes, okay, let's go back to like, yeah, 38 to 13 eco KD. What's the overall KD? Where's that? Am I missing it? Oh, it was 38 to 18. Like, what? Oh, 31 to 6 eco KD. Okay, that makes more sense. Wow, man. So obviously, we saw the difference between having fish and not having fish. It's so interesting. At this stage of the game, Dark's issue was wood and gold. And then God of the Godless's problem was food. So he sent everything to wood and gold, went all in with wood and gold, used what little food he had on nights. And then he had to catch up with food, whereas Dark had to catch up on everything else. And the winning move, the way to come back into this game, was by going with the monks. The monks could eventually take care of everything. It could take care of the knights, the scorpions, and then he got really good value when he converted the knights against the scorpions, against the mangonels. Unbelievable, man. If you didn't see the early stages of that game, I suggest you rewatch it. I hope people enjoy that one. I hope people are pumped to see more from this series too. This will be on YouTube, so we'll have the full best of 5 in the description if it's not public, but it should be in the... it's on the list of things to just have fully uploaded to YouTube anyways. There's the overall KD for you. If you're wondering about the economy, the food count was actually pretty close. The Dark ended up having more gold, but I mean, that was pretty much an even game around this stage. I think truthfully, though, what caught up with God of the Godless was lack of eco upgrades. And, you know, it was too little too late with the Woad Raiders. I think he needed to stop Dark from getting the castles up. And he needed to get into Dark's eco, which Dark was able to deny. You can also see just how freaking fast Dark is as a player, like compared to the God of the Godless, who is 45th seed. I mean, he's top 50, top 60, right? 45th seed in this tourney. And, like, you know, still, this teenager, man, is a beast. So, well played to him. And I'm excited to see the next game now. It definitely has to feel gut-wrenching, though. Like, you should be able to just... Well, what you should do if I was a esports coach is wipe game 1 from your mind if you're God of the Godless and just think about the future. But I'll tell you, it's not that simple. It's not how it works. He will know that he could have won that game. He will know that was an incredible comeback from Dark. And that will not bode well for his mindset. It might not be hugely negative, but he'll know. I should have won that game. I could have won that game. How did I lose that game? Thoughts like that are going to be going through his mind.